going to see when you start doing this. First thing is someone's going to shoot their knees way past their toes. So squat down and just try to do it wrong. Yeah, there you go, good. Super high, all heels are off the ground, you see a lot of this. Okay, now you can stand up, okay? That sucks, is they have a little bit more pressure in your knee? Probably just a hair, right? Okay, simple thing to fix that. When they squat down, put your foot about ½ inch in front of their toe. Make your knee at 90 degrees, or excuse me, perpendicular to the ground. Okay? Now, John, squat back down, don't touch my knee. Touch my knee. I know. That's better. Good, perfect, we fixed it, stand up. Good, awesome, okay? Easy way to do it, right? Don't let the knees travel too far over the toes. Okay? Why? Because if the knees travel over the toes, we shorten the hamstring. Now we're not low bar squatting anymore, right? Putting more pressure on our knees, which we're trying to avoid because we want the pressure to go here, where all the muscle mass is. Okay? So, is this going to feel good? No, it ain't. Okay? But we're not all about feel. I'm not about pain. We don't want them to be hurting. But no, it's not going to feel normal. It is going to be different. Their numbers are going to drastically decrease when you start doing these things. Okay? But you're trying to find the most effective way to train your athlete because you're not training power. Okay? We want them to improve. All right, so now we're going to go back down again. And when someone taught you to squat years and years ago, where did they tell you to put your eyes? If you had to guess.
Up.
Up, right? Yeah, look up to go up, right? It's the old high school coach. You don't say that, do you, Shorty? Look up, go up, right? Not anymore. Not anymore. Okay, so, but for this example, John's going to look straight ahead, or he's going to look up, but he's going to do anything but look down. Okay, I want you to go back to that same position, and once you get down there, I'm going to put my hands on your hips, okay? Then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to try to put the same amount of pressure both times. And you can tell me if I'm lying, okay? I'm going to put pressure on your hips. Now I'm going to say stand up. Okay, I want all of you to watch his feet. Okay? All right, all the way down.
Eyes are up. You said?
Yep, eyes are up. High as you can get them. Ready, set, go, push. Okay, all right. So, did it feel like I was pushing at least straight down, or I was trying to? Okay, perfect. And first thing that happened is he lost his balance, right? Okay, so obviously we know he's kind of shifted. Well, the problem here is when his eyes go up, what else goes up? Chest. What does the chest do? Well, kind of connected to your spine, right? So then that back angle becomes more vertical. So we get what? Less ability to push out of our hips. Okay, so he can't push out of his hips when his chest is up and his eyes are up and his knees are going forward. Okay? Now, we're going to do the same thing. He said, now I want you to look, and it's going to feel weird. I want you to look right here. And tuck your chin into your chest right now and look here. Now, here's what you're going to say, oh, coach, that looks terrible on his neck. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you right now. However, I don't care about his neck when he's standing up. I care about his neck when he's at the bottom of the squat, the hardest place to get out of, and now his neck's cranked like this. I don't like that. I want a neutral neck. I want to be here. So everything lines up. I can use my hips to drive out of the body. Okay? So tuck your chin to start. That's just an easy coaching cue to get their eyes where you need them. Some kids will be looking a foot in front of them, some maybe 2 or 3 feet. You have to adjust that because all of them are different lengths. Okay? But they just need to be looking down. Find a focal point. Okay? So he tucks his chin, he looks down, he goes back to the bottom. Okay? 1, 2, 3, stand up. Then his feet come off the ground. I didn't see him. You cheated?
No.
Okay. All right, so we're good. Now, was that easier, worse, somewhere in between? Way easier. Okay, wonderful. So you got kids, coach, I don't know about this low bar squat. I don't think this is the right way to do that. I don't think I want to do this, okay? Don't just yell at them. Hey, do this. Do this. Show them a more effective way. Okay, show them a more effective way. Now, what have we done by getting him out here? Let's say that we don't have any problems. He can get to full depth. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll. We feel comfortable with loading it. And I'll give you some things to help if they do have problems. But let's say he's good to go, which he is. Okay, I like everything that I just saw. I kind of screened him a little bit. But what I did teach him is what? I taught him proper depth. I taught him eye and focal point, which did what? Proper back angle without me just saying, hey, bend over, get your back here. Okay, I taught him those things right now before he's even been loaded. So now when he gets loaded, we're hoping that he has some sense of awareness to get back to that same position or close to it. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Okay, now, before I get going, what if, because this will happen, squat's the hardest, I'll spend more time on squat than anything else just because it's the hardest to teach. I want you guys to be effective at doing it, okay? But let's say John has a real tough time, okay? We've got him lined up exactly how we want him. He gets to the bottom, he can't get to depth, he's falling all over the place, it looks awful, he's shaking, things aren't really going well, okay? What are some options that we have now? Okay, some options would be this, and I don't know, oh, some 12-inch boxes here, okay? So if you have some boxes or anything like this, or milk crate, I've used milk crate before, I've used pull pulled out chairs before, depending on how rough their hip mobility and ankle mobility are, okay? But what we're gonna do is now just put a box there, do the exact same thing, and tell them to sit on the box, but don't relax, okay? So we'll do the same thing, trying to keep, not shooting their knees, trying to reach back, and some of them that are shooting, I've got one right now, a baseball guy, that, ooh, baby. I mean, he hates seeing me every day, okay? He gets to about right here, and that's all he's got. And he's like, crash, he's dropping, okay? So we work on that. For him, we don't start at like a parallel box. For him, we might work up to something where he goes down and it's about an inch before he has to drop because he can't hold it any farther. Perfect, we start there. Run him through a couple weeks of that. Then what do? Take an inch away. Once he gets better at that, take an inch away, take an inch away, take an inch away. Working all the way back to the box, okay? Now with him, everything else checked out on him pretty good. We were able to at least load him, okay? We're not loading dysfunction necessarily, but he does squat to a box, and I've got maybe 5 athletes out of 400 that squat to a box in my program right now, okay? That I'm just not super comfortable free squatting them at the moment, okay? Because I don't want to overload dysfunction. But at the same time, that kid's still gonna go out and pitch. He's still gonna go out and compete. So what do I tell him? Hey, Brian, just keep, body weight squatting until your mobility gets better. It may never get better. I didn't get him his first 6-7 years of his training career, okay? It may not get better. I still want him to get stronger and produce force out of the ground, right? Because that's gonna help him be a better player. So you still want to try to move them along, but you want to do it the most effective way you can, okay? So a box is an easy way to start that. You put some weights on it, like plates, whatever you can to build the height up, and get them doing that perfect, where they can sit down, eyes down, and drive through their hips to stand up without toes coming off or heels coming off. Once they've got through that, then maybe you can add an implement, maybe a broomstick, maybe a pipe, okay? And then start working them through it a little bit. And if they're one of those kids where you spend a month on them and they still don't look good at it, okay, can you start loading them? Yes, but you better squat them with a box in the rack. Might not be a kid that you can let free squat, okay? That's okay. It's all right. We're not building powerlifters here. We're just trying to get them a little better in their sport, okay? But getting that kid to squat and still adapt, even at the range of motion that they're at, is always going to be safer than not, okay? Because then, if you're at least doing that, you're at least getting some bone mineral density buildup, okay? Your bones are getting thicker, tendons are getting thicker and harder, hopefully less likely to tear, okay? And he's still gaining on muscle mass side. So you can still train him, it just may not be the most effective way in a perfect setting, right? Okay, we're all good on that? Okay, that's a roundabout way. All right, now John, here's what I'm going to teach you next. So we went through the bodyweight squat, we're ready to rock and roll. When we step into the barbell, okay, I will teach him a couple things. So I trained him out here. Now we're going to walk in here. The first thing I will tell him is with his grip, okay? Some people in this that teach this kind of low bar position will do thumbs over. I usually don't, just because I see a ton of different shoulders from baseball players to softball to football, and our mobility there is super different with every sport, it seems like, okay? So I allow them to be a little bit comfortable with their grip, but I tell them this: the closer your grip is, and females have closer grips most of the time than males, almost 90% of the time. Okay, they're a little bit more mobile in the shoulders. So the closer your hands are, the bigger the shelf will be to put the bar on. The farther they are away, obviously the smaller the shelf, okay? So we want them to get into a position, we want to be close enough that it doesn't cause pain, but it may not be comfortable. It's going to be tight. In the first couple of weeks that you teach them to squat this way, they'll be sore up here, whether you use a pipe, a barbell, or whatever, because they should be squeezing and bracing hard enough where if they haven't done that before, they're going to have some soreness, okay? So that's okay. Don't worry about that. Don't let that drive you away from it, okay? So when we take him in, I will tell John this: don't go under the bar once you have your grip set and then come back up to find your spot, okay? We want to come at the bar. So my eyes are at the middle of it, so that hopefully it puts it right square on each side, okay? So my eyes are in the middle of the bar. I'm going to pull myself at the bar and just miss my head. My elbows are going to stay high. Why? Because it won't look good, will it? My elbows are going, when I unrack this, my elbows are probably going to be here, okay? You're like, oh, I don't like that, doesn't match up with the trunk. I get it, okay? But when we squat this way, and we push our butt back, push our knees out, eventually when I get to the bottom of the squat, hopefully our elbows are pretty close to being the same as our spine, okay? I'm not concerned about the top as much as I am the bottom, okay? So don't worry if their elbows, they look a little cranked up there, okay? All right, so we're coming right at the bar, elbows high, and that will allow us to find this shelf. And I'm going to show you where that is on John here in a second, okay? So we're going to find that shelf, then we're going to get our feet under our hips. Now we're ready to go. And I usually tell my kids, before you take it off, act like you're gonna squat it, whether it's the bar or 300 pounds. So right before we take it off, we're gonna take a big breath, and then we're gonna put that breath right in our stomach. Like if you have older brothers or younger brothers and they're gonna punch you right in the stomach, that's where we wanna be. Okay, so tight abs, not huge chest, overextension of the low back, nope, tight abs. So I'm gonna take a big breath, tighten my abs. Then I can unwrap, 2 steps, ready to go. Okay, now, at this position, hopefully we're remembering what we just taught John, okay, from the body weight squat position. Because now I want him to get back to that position just with the bar on his back. Okay, so we're gonna look down, we're gonna tuck our chin. Now I'm gonna talk to him about his breath a little bit. I'm gonna say, hey, take a huge breath, tighten your abs. And then he's gonna push his butt back, push his knees out, and try to keep this bar in the middle of his foot, okay? Easiest way to tell him this, stay athletic. Stay in the middle of your foot and squat. And you can fix things as you go, okay? Butt back, knees out, to the bottom, drive up through your hips, okay? And that's how we kind of teach them and walk them through this. Now have me about 5 reps and I'll coach them on, okay? So elbows are up. If they start talking to you like, oh, I feel like the bar's falling off my back, elbows need to be higher. Elbows need to be higher. They should be kind of crunched in this position, but I'm really not holding it with my hands. And I can take my hands completely off, still squat, and that bar should be sitting kind of in that rack position. And I'll show you how to get it there in a minute, okay? But cues for squatting, keep your eyes focused, okay? Big breath, butt back, knees out. Why do we want to shove our butt back? Anybody know? Why do we want to kind of cue that early on? You won't have to cue that forever, but why do we want to cue it when they start? Because we don't want what to go forward.
Knees.
Knees, right? You just tell them to squat, a lot of times what are they going to do? Knees are always going to go first. Okay? So yes, to get their back to bend over a little bit and get a more horizontal angle, we're going to tell them butt back, knees out. Now you don't need them going butt back, like twerking, knees out, then squatting, okay? Do it, we want to do it at the same time, okay? But big breath, eyes locked in, butt back, knees out. Now when I get to the bottom, hopefully my knees aren't too far over my toes. My hamstring, I can feel that it's long because I have some stiffness in it, okay? And now I'm ready to drive out on the bottom. We do not want to look up to drive. We do not want to raise our chest to drive. We focus on our point and we drive through our hips. So we're going to push through the middle of our foot and we think about butt going straight up to stand up. Okay? Don't worry about your chest. It will rise on its own.